Are you Mandalorian?
I'm a simple man making his way through the galaxy, like my father before me.
3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. Matthew, Dylan, Callan.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the 3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. We're in for a treat tonight. It is a different format. It's 3 Matts and a Baby Yoda podcast tonight. Callan is away. He has moved house, and Telstra is transferring his internet over, which means we're not going to see him for 17 days. But Dylan, you are here, my man. How are you, buddy?
I'm great, mate. I'm energetic. We've got the 2 beautiful guests. They are very handsome, and I must say you are too.
Thank you. I need that.
Yeah, no, look, I just thought I'd give everyone an ego boost. It's Sunday night. You know, we had to get into the working week, so
Sunday night,
boys,
holidays are over. we're not handsome, so, you know.
Here we are.
I appreciate
We're sitting
it.
here at 9:46 p.m. on a Sunday night as 4 blokes having a chat.
And we're all very excited for the House of Dragon releasing tomorrow morning. So moving on to our guest number 1. Man, I have travelled the world with. It took me. We had to travel 9,000 kilometres to meet each other in person. But a man who is synonymous with this podcast, the unofficial 4th man or 12th man, whatever you want to call it, Mr. Matthew Thurbin. How are you, buddy?
How's it going? I don't think anyone's actually called me Matt before, 3 Matts, but yeah, I suppose I'll get used to that.
No one calls me Matt.
It's usually Turbo or Matthew. I don't know about this Matt, but as long as we're all double T's and we're all above board with the double T's, I'm happy with that.
None of those
my
banter guys.
father-in-law. Oh, mate, my father-in-law's a 1-tier, so
Ooh.
yeah. You can't trust the 1-tiers.
They're always
That's
the weird ones.
illegitimate, Matt.
It's half-assed as well, I think, yeah.
And our 4th guest from the city of churches, the Footscray-loving musical genius, Mr. Matthew J. Frost.
Where are we at the Matthew then?
Yeah, good evening, chaps. I don't mind a bit of Matthew. I don't mind things being a bit formal.
How are you, buddy? What's been happening?
Just snot and tears pouring out of my eyes with hay fever, but yeah, no, apart from that, good. The tears might have partly been from looking after the kids all weekend, but yeah, it's definitely tears of some description.
Man, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I had the kid all day yesterday. My wife went out with all the girls for some baby shower number 3 or whatever with her friends, and I got stuck with the kid all day. And then my wife wanted to back it up today with more stuff, and I sort of had to go. Didn't I look after them all day yesterday? And I got 1 hour to myself, so that was really nice. I enjoyed that.
But dude, it's a baby. Like, it's a spud with hair. Like, you know, they can't get into trouble. He can't get into trouble.
This kid finds trouble. Trust me.
No, really.
He's 18 months old, and just starting to walk. He dropped his spade and then fell on it, and then cut blood on his mouth. So, and then I got in trouble for that. That was my fault, apparently.
On your
watch, yeah.
That was that was on our watch, and because we have to, you know, whenever we look after him, it has to be together. And then when it's my turn, it's just, that's all you. So.
Oh, it sounds like you've got a good appreciation of the rules. That's good.
It seems like. And then today, funny enough, you should rest now while he sleeps so that when he wakes up, you know, you can keep going. And I'm like, when is my break? Like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're in it for life, mate. You're in it for life.
In about 16 years, mate. Yeah.
Actually, funny story. I was like, you know, I said I really enjoyed, you know, looking after him all day, being the dad, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, you know, you got a break from that on Thursday and Friday. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you know, when I looked after him, I was like, I was at work. I wasn't having a break. I was working my job. I was like, I finally figured out that my break is when I work. So.
Start treating it like that. Just take a book to work and chill out, deck chair.
The problem is I work downstairs in the office in my house a lot. So
you need a hammock. I think you need a hammock, Matt. That's what's missing. Hammock.
I'll come if I need to go to a hammock. I'm going to come around. I'll just drive up to Hornsby and I'll christen your pool for you as well. I know you had the first swim of the summer
or spring. It's pretty fucking cold though. It's I went away for the week down the south coast and it did not feel like spring. It was rainy as you guys know, and didn't go into the beach at all. And yeah, it definitely feels like winter's still lingering and the rain doesn't piss off. So
it's been a pretty miserable 9 days. But you had a birthday. Was it 40?
So did you?
I did. The big 40.
Yeah, mine was 47, and yours was a couple of days before, I believe.
2 days before. Yes.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. As you both know, I used my 40th birthday present to get to Anaheim. And so, I kept the festivities on the low side because I really did burn a lot of credits to get to Star Wars Celebration. Have you ever been
away a future pick? Traded away your future picks, your first round draft picks.
Oh no!
Are you planning to have like your 41st in London? Maybe a sneaky trip to London?
I don't think I'll make it to London, but I am secretly planning a 42nd trip with Brinkat back. Is that going to be back in Anaheim, or where do you think that's going to be, Turbo?
Oh, it'll be US somewhere. I'm kind of hoping in New York or something on the East Coast, maybe.
Yeah,
but it'll be back in US for sure, surely. And then the following one, I think I mentioned. I reckon it should be in Japan, Tokyo. That would be awesome.
Oh, that would be mad. Yeah.
It seems we've lost Frosty. He's just he seems to be buffering quite a bit here.
What do you see?
He's waving.
Turn your video off. No, you don't. We want to see you, Matt. Don't turn your video.
We can't hear him.
I haven't said anything. That might be why.
Every time he refreshes, I see him. I'm watching his chest and he's breathing. So I'm like,
he's hiding behind the mic as well. He's like, you can't see his face.
He was asking a question about burning credits, and then I was like, I cut him off, and then I thought he was buffering for the last 2 minutes.
I was doing something that blokes don't do very often. I was listening.
So, Frosty, I was going to ask you till you turn into a statue, or what I thought was a statue. Have you made the trip to the Star Wars Mecca of Celebration before, or is it on your bucket list, or is it no thanks, too many nerds?
Oh, that's a very complicated question. Yes, there is too many nerds, but I would like to go. Yeah. But
what's your radius? What's close enough that you can go, and not too far that you can't be fucked?
Oh, southern suburbs of Adelaide, probably. Yeah,
I was waiting for that.
Rundle Mall, Rundle Mall celebration.
Oh no, I'm not going into the city, mate.
But in all seriousness, when do you think you could go and? Let's start planning. Let's start a GoFundMe for all of us.
I don't know. Like the next one's in England, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, that one's out.
Okay, because I'd like to go back to England, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh well, then don't not go on my account.
Yeah. Tickets
are gone. It's looking really expensive too, Turbo, as well. Like the hotels.
I've got to watch on flights. I still haven't booked flights, and it's pretty crazy when you've also got to bring your entire family across. So the whole wife and two boys are coming over, so we're going to make a holiday of it as well as celebration. So it is looking very expensive for the flights, at least. So we'll see how it goes.
It's funny there's. Sorry, it's funny that you say there's no tickets. I don't know if you've ever been to London, but there's always tickets. There's always a geezer standing outside, just like leaning against a shop on the other side of the thing. Yeah, and you go in and you pay,
definitely a
quid
geezer.
extra. Yeah, there's be a geezer there.
It'll be some Essex geezer.
I think they're home of the scalpers. I would say that's where the scalpers originated, for sure.
No, well, I know only Turbo's going. Phroosh, if you get the leave pass, I'd love to see you there. But I'm angling towards a US based return. Or, I mean, me and Chapman were fighting over who should host one in Australia. We can get one in Sydney. That'd be pretty handy as well.
Canberra.
I think we've got
Canberra.
We officially opened by Albo. That'd be pretty exciting. So, Phroosh, tell me what's been happening in your Star Wars world. What's given you the fairy dust, or not given to you the fairy dust?
So I've watched an episode of Andor. So yeah, that's my Star Wars at the moment. And so I don't. What episode are they up to? 5? 6?
5.
Yeah.
6
5,
on Wednesday.
5, okay. 6, right. So got a bit of catching up to do, but yeah. But I hope you're not hoping to get me on here for some stinging criticism of it, because I thought it was really good.
No, that's been the general discourse amongst most fans. I actually thought you'd love it because it's very much not like Star Wars. It's a whole new formula. Because I don't believe you like the other formula with all this volume and sunsets and Tatooine and Mandalorians.
Look, I just don't like sci-fi or fantasy. So, like, if they could just get that out of it, I'd be right on board.
I chose the wrong moment to take a sip then. So I must implore you then, you need to keep going with this, because it gets better and denser and juicier as you keep watching. And then they throw in some Star Wars stuff, which you probably won't like.
The Star Wars stuff's just in the background, so I wouldn't. You could just ignore it if it's in the background. It's fine. I think you'd be happy with that.
Well,
it's not in your face, Star Wars.
I've got to admit that I have watched part of episode 2, but it was the night of the AFL Grand Final. So A, I have absolutely no memory of it, and B, I fell asleep about 30 seconds to a minute in. I probably should have watched that Andor. I think I probably should have watched that instead of the grand final myself, but yeah.
Turbo, don't you have a theory about the grand final, that if you had gone?
Yeah. Well, I went to both finals. So I went to the final in the MCG with Josh Chapman and Kat, and we won that. And then I went to the SCG the final. We smashed it there against Collingwood.
Smashed it. You won by a point.
Won by a point, but you know,
after you stopped playing at half time, yeah, sure.
we scraped through, but
and then didn't turn up the week, and then he didn't go to the grand final, and then that's where they lost.
I had serious FOMO of going, well, why aren't I there? Like, how could I get there? I was in Brisbane for work, and I'm like, I should be at the grand final, and I just couldn't wing it. And I'm like, okay. For work, yeah, and then
soccer.
Just having to watch it from home, or it just wasn't the same, and I just had this bad feeling about it, and we just lost, and I just think it's because I wasn't there.
I heard you bumped into
that's a very self-centered sort of theory, but that's my theory.
You're so close. You're so close. The issue wasn't that you weren't there; it's that your players weren't. So,
oh man, that was just so bad to watch. I'm not sure watching your team get absolutely destroyed at the stadium is any better than watching on TV, especially when you haven't spent like $3,000 getting there on flights and hotels, and then having to go home.
I did get to see Callan. I bumped into Callan at the SCG after we won at the end, so. He was looking pretty down about Collingwood, but that was the first time I met Callan. So from podcasting to the SCG victory, which was good.
Tell me, how did you pull him out of the? Yeah, how did you find him?
Oh, we're just on the escalators on the way out of the Noble stand, just literally on the way out.
But who's the only Collingwood fan with teeth?
Well, no, one of his mates, I forget his mates, was talking to me and he was just sort of, I think he was a Swans fan, and he turned around and started like high-fiving and just going, what a great game. And then I looked next to him and it was Callan. So Callan's mate was a Swans fan, and then Callan was there, and I just said, "G'day, how you going?" It was pretty random, but yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I'm a jinx for Callan in prelim finals. I took Callan to I think it was the one versus GWS a few years ago, the MCG. He'd never been, and then they were up by about 5 goals and lost, and then GWS didn't turn up the next week against Richmond. That's 2017, and then I got him tickets for this one of the SCG in the Swans area. And they lost by a point. So anything I give him, he feels is cursed now. So won't be going there. But Frosty, you mentioned you only seen one Andor, but did you watch the Kenobi series?
Yep, I did watch that. Yeah.
Give us the Frost crib notes to the Kenobi series and tell me how it was for you.
Oh, I have to think back. I thought there were some really good bits in it, but it was, gosh, there was some nonsense in there as well. It was, I liked bits, and there was, I think that bit where they have their final confrontation and they talk, like, you know, the end there. That was pretty good. Like, that was some pretty good stuff there.
Did you enjoy the fight in like the construction yard?
No, not really. No, that was pretty stupid. Like,
the one where Vader was outside for the first time in history.
Yeah, I did rate him like breaking the neck of a child. That was that's a way to.
I hope we're not getting
with
like
zero bias too. He's just snapping necks like there was.
Frosty, I hope you're not fantasizing here about, you know, snapping kids' necks, but
I know it's a good thing it's been a while since Kenobi, because he's just had a rough one with the kids this weekend.
Yeah, but just as far as like all the stuff that they made happen in that show to lead up to that one moment was not very good. But yeah, it was, you know, they were trying their hardest. Yeah, it was good to see Ewan back. That was pretty good.
What about the 40-year-old apprentice, Anakin Skywalker? Looking a bit haggard around the edges.
That's pretty ropey. Yeah, I do. Well, who's the dude? Who's the white bald dude that was like the one of the baddies, the main baddies?
Rupert Friend, the Inquisitor.
He cracked me up. Like, was he like? It was like everyone else was trying to do this serious show, and he was like he was in some Monty Python thing. I couldn't believe the way he was delivering his lines. It was like, is he taking the piss?
Hello.
Hello. I am a very bad man.
You know what's funny is that he refused to watch any episode of Rebels Inquisitor episodes so that he wouldn't steal any of his persona and he would do something completely different. But
he watched 9 hours of Monty Python.
I know. The most awkward one is when she's like lying on the floor half dead and he's just like, hello, I'm here.
You didn't know I would be back, did you?
Isn't revenge sweet?
It's like that guy. I am biggest dickus.
So, funny story. Rupert Friend was at Celebration and I was in the Ewan McGregor line waiting for the signature, and there was about 10,000 people, and I was just like going through the line one by one, and I looked at Rupert Friend's line, which is like over there, and there was one person in it. So
he's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you guys, I'm gonna ruin this show.
Well, I think it was in the can by then. But it's his first Star Wars. And what was that one? That's one where he's the senator in England. He was pretty good in that one.
Yeah, all three of us know nothing.
No,
of what
Turbo
that is,
knows
man.
it. You know Turbo. I know Chapman watched it with me actually.
No, I didn't watch it.
There was one where he's like he's a Tory and he's in some sort of scandal and he cheats on his wife and then.
Sounds riveting.
He was actually pretty good in it. It was pretty serious. I thought Kenobi was good. I thought it started well, got a bit funny in the middle, and then the landing was pretty strong that you sort of just glossed over any of the stuff you didn't like previous to that because Liam Neeson shows up at the end and everything's in a nice, sexy bow at the end. So,
oh yeah, I forgot he was in it. Yeah. It's just like Liam. Like, can you just jump in your closet and film 3 seconds of video for us? Yeah. Sure.
And also tell the world that you'll never be in Star Wars unless it's in a movie to subvert the expectations.
Oh, those tricky devils.
Tell me, Frosty, what about little Leia? How was she for you?
Oh, look, I think it was a stupid idea to have little Leia in there, but she did a great job. The actor playing her. So yeah, no issues there. But why they couldn't think up a story that didn't involve having fucking Leia in it as well, and then watching all the fans bend over backwards to make every part of it make sense with what happened in Star Wars. It's just like, oh God, why didn't they just not do it? But yeah.
What did you think of the trench coat scene with Obi Wan?
Oh my God, more Python.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking of you when I thought of that scene.
Excellent work, Turbo. Yes,
Phroosh is going to love this.
That was one of the weaker moments. What about the window that lasted one bullet as well?
Oh, yeah. What's another bit that? Oh, fucking FLEA was in it. Who the fuck put FLEA in Star Wars? Because you could just if that was, yeah. I don't know how many people would have done exactly what my wife did, turned around and looked at each other and said, "Is that fucking FLEA?"
Yeah, we did the same thing.
It's just, and he was awful. It's just like, why are you getting these people in just to do a shit job? It's just, at least Rupert Friend was funny. FLEA just
unintentionally.
Yeah. No, I choose to believe he meant to.
What was the best part of the show then?
That bit with when Anakin's talking through the mask, and he goes, "Yeah, that's pretty good." I'm not
when
the
voice was changing between
yeah, and you didn't kill Anakin, I did. That's pretty good. Got to give him that. But it's just all the stuff around it and the fact that you could hardly see what was going on for most of the whole fucking thing. What the fuck? Obi-Wan gets buried in a pile of fucking stones and then lifts him off with the Force? What the fuck were they thinking there? Oh, God.
It's just the lifting rocks theme, I reckon.
God, not everything has to rhyme, for fuck's sake. He just puts him in a hole, puts rocks on him, and then just walks off. Do these guys have zero interest in actually hurting each other? I just thought.
Yes, that was. I saw.
It's just a flesh wound.
That would be a good cut of Revenge of the Sith when he chops off his arm and legs. Now I've defeated you, Anakin. No,
tis but a scratch.
Tis but a scratch. Your arm and legs off. No, it isn't.
What are you going to do? Bleed on me?
All right, we'll call it a draw then.
So, what about the talk of a season 2 of Kenobi? How would that sit with you? Well, they say because now that Kenobi has seen the error of his ways, and he's like, "Yep, he just needs to be a boy. He can live out his life on the farm and just grow." It means that Kenobi can branch out, find some
go
other
meet
hobbies.
Ahsoka, I bet. Yeah, that's got to be it.
Hang out with Captain Rex.
Yeah. Fucking go on an adventure with Cad fucking Bane or something like that. Like, just no, just leave it.
Well,
Gotta be.
I mean, have
be.
we spoken since the Book of Boba Fett, Frosty, or have you been on the pod since then? I'm not sure you have actually.
No, that was some seriously goofy shit. That show. That was mostly enjoyable though. Like it was.
That was directed by Rupert Friend.
I'm just picturing Ewan McGregor and Kenobi now off to get his Knights of the Round Table now. Yeah. No, did we have that episode with Frosty? Was it the second last episode of Book of Boba?
I think we were only halfway through the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And then it did a course correction and turned into the Mandalorian again, and then finished.
That's right. Yeah. Didn't Luke come back into it?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
That's right. Oh, we need some Luke and Ahsoka in this. Oh, we actually don't.
It wasn't just it was Cobb Vanth, Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, Cad Bane, or someone else. Oh, Pelimoto. No. Yeah, there was.
Yep.
And then that was the biggest cameo episode of all time. But I and Grogu came back as well. Like, so the whole Mandalorian thing was undone in 5 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I do like the fact that it did appear that Ahsoka had taken Luke's virginity. That was very funny. That was worth it. But
yeah, there was a bit of a nod and a wink, I think.
Yeah. That she just threw the poor bloody guy. Pity, fuck. But yeah. Yeah.
You sky virgin.
Yeah. So yeah, that was worth it just for the gags. But yeah, I can't.
Pun intended, eh?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how the whole show actually, the Mandalorian, the Boba. What a fucking Bobalorian. It was all the same show in the end, wasn't it, really? But
well, the Mando and Boba they team up to fight all the what were they called again? The Turbo. What were them? The Pikes. That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right. And then they fight against about 100 of them, and they start to lose, and then they start to win, and the town folk come, and then all of a sudden they bring some giant droid cars, and then
he rides in on a Rancor.
He brings the Rancor. The one that Danny Trejo delivered. He borrowed it from FLEA. There must be some musicians alliance that Lucasfilm have tapped into, thinking
that's
Axl
right.
Rose is going to be in the Ahsoka show, guys.
That's right. That's what I mean about, like, it was goofy shit, but it was enjoyable. But it was fucking And then he end up having a standoff, like Wild West shootout with fucking the blue dude, Cad Bane. Yeah, that's all coming back to me now. Yeah,
that's right.
And then they ended in the street just having a laugh. And what were they? They were drinking some.
No, he tossed him a fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, fruit. Okay, that's one.
It was like, here, have a piece of fruit, and then, yay, it's over. And then
it's like the fucking the taco ad, like, ¿Por qué no los dos?
Oh, they should have had like a G.I. Joe like ending public service announcement where Boba Fett says for kids how important it is to get fruit, like, 2 serves of fruit and veg a day or something. Oh, chances.
Yeah, that was definitely a, I appreciate that Star Wars is on TV and enjoyed it, but it wasn't. I haven't been rushing back to watch it anytime soon. Have you rewatched the Turbo?
No, I have not watched it. No, I have not.
I did watch.
Actually,
I did watch the Mando episode though, because that was a good one. The one that was just Mando.
Jimmy Dice gave me a link to a couple of edits of Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett. I haven't watched yet, but it is down to like a movie length.
I have seen that, and it's good. I've seen. I've seen the Obi-Wan one where they cut out a lot of the goofy shit and add a lot more Star Wars music instead of whoever was the music person for that one. And
you'll have to link me that, Matt.
I will. I've got. It's good.
Yeah,
Matt one has it.
Yeah. No, I didn't have issues with the music or anything. I was just I just think it needs to be trimmed.
Well, no, it wasn't like it wasn't that they just added like Leia's theme, like when like she falls off the roof and then Obi-Wan sort of channels into the Force. They put the Force theme there as he's lifting her off the ground, and that makes it even more exciting. Because I mean, they didn't really use any of John Williams stuff until the last one. So was it 7 episodes?
I think it was the last or second last ep.
I mean, I don't think we need. Yeah, I don't think we need John Williams in everything. I think it's good just to have touches of it. But I don't know. Yeah,
they just inserted a few bits here and there. It was actually pretty good, and it's only 2 hours, so I highly recommend. I will. I'll put the link in. I'll send it to you personally. It's not my link to put in on public forum.
Is there a supercut of just Rupert Friend's bits?
Actually, he a lot of his scenes got cut. Actually,
it's called The Holy Grail. Frosty, you just go and watch that, mate.
So you must be inspired by. Are you excited for Tales of the Jedi that's due out in 2.5 weeks, Frosty?
What, another TV show?
There's another one. We're going to go an origin story on Ahsoka because she hasn't been done enough yet.
Bullshit.
So we're gonna.
No, it's done in the style of
animation,
Clone Wars,
animation, Clone Wars, Rebels animation style, like a couple of episodes.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough.
So we're going to Ahsoka's born and see her Togruta village and how she became a Jedi, and then we're also going to go into a Count Dooku origin story as a Jedi.
Okay, so it's just more origin stories, just wall-to-wall origin stories. Fair enough. Yeah, because we can't have something just unknown. So, yep. No, fair enough. Off they go. Yep.
Well, that's why we've got Andor. Andor's all new characters.
But it's still kind of an origin story, isn't it? Because we're already seeing glimpses of his past. So, yeah.
It is.
And his demise.
Oh, yeah, we know. Poor guy. We know what happens there. But, yeah, all good.
So obviously, Matt didn't know that existed. So that's after Andor finishes. I think we go straight into Tales of the Jedi.
It'll be on concurrently. It overlaps, and it's all 6 episodes will drop on night one, and seeing as Andor's been out for 6 weeks, and Matt's seen 1 episode, I can't imagine him going through all 6 on day one. So we might give him a bit of time to digest.
Let it ferment.
Like I sort of hinted at before, me not watching Andor has got nothing to do with the quality of it. I actually thought it was pretty bloody good, but just haven't, because my wife wants to watch it too, and we want to watch it together, so it's just a bit hard. There was a bit,
and you're probably watching She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and
we tried. No, we actually tried the She-Hulk one. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That was. I actually got 3 episodes in before I quit that. So yeah,
I got 1.
I haven't even seen 1 yet. I
made it to 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good because it was pretty hard work by 3. I think episode 2 got me going because it had Tim Roth in it, who I think's a very funny actor, and he seemed to be playing from the Rupert Friend style of acting. So, so I was like, okay, I'm back on board here. But then he was out of it again, so I was like, oh, no, I'm out.
No, he comes back. If you want to know, he does come back.
Yeah, but
it's worth watching.
I might just wait till there's a Tim Roth supercut.
Tim Roth
When's
slash
the next
Rupert Friend
yeah, put them in
crossover
the Star
event.
Wars. Yeah.
Oh God.
Frosty, have you heard about? And sorry, this is off topic, guys, but you seen the Halloween Ends trailer come out?
You know what? I watched the first Halloween Ends trailer. It was awful. It was a terrible trailer. But I am most certainly going to go see it probably the opening night. And so with my daughter and my adult daughter, by the way, for those of you who know that I've got a 9 and 6 year old, I'm not taking them to see a Halloween movie. But I am purposely not watching the next trailer. So
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
I feel like it gave away a little bit too much,
Yeah.
so don't watch it, but it looks good. And then I watched with my missus, have you seen that movie, Smile?
No, but
I've heard about that. Yeah, there's lots of advertising
You know
going
what?
on with that in the
I thought it was going to be like proper shit, budgety horror. It's not too bad. It's actually pretty clever in the way it doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it's a good watch if you get around to it.
I've heard that it is a lot better than what it appears on because it does look on the cover, like on the poster, like it's one of those, those directed video ones you find like about 3/4 of the way through the horror section at Blockbuster. So,
So get on it, mate. I reckon you'll enjoy it.
There's another movie I want to see while we're on horror. There's one called X. Have you seen that, Phroosh?
No.
Yes. Yep.
You've seen X?
Yes.
Okay.
Me and Kiara, we went to see that in the cinema. That is an excellent film.
Yeah,
That's
on my
really,
list.
and there's now a prequel out to that in America called Pearl. And, but it's no release date here, which we're pretty frustrated from because that's getting rave reviews in the States. So, yeah, but that's
Holy shit. X got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's by Ty West, who's a very,
I'm looking at
very
it now. Director Ty
talented
West.
director. But that is one of the for an original horror movie, because it's not based on any sort of, it is one of the more it was really good cinema experience. It was very good. Yeah. We had a fair amount of people in, and everyone was very much responding to what was on the screen. It was pretty good.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Yeah. But that
Phroosh,
was
Sorry, we can go back on
Tick of approval.
back on topic now.
Oh yeah, and no, I know Turbo saw it. Did you guys see Nope, the new Jordan Peele movie?
Yeah.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not bad.
yeah, I thought that was pretty good too. Like, I just love things.
I do really like his films, Jordan Peele. His directing style is really good.
Yeah, I just love when people take a real swing at something original.
Right? Yeah. Amen.
And that alien
Like Favreau.
was like, well, not the alien, but yeah, like Favreau. No, I thought that was really good. Other than spoiling for people, but I just think, you can't do anything wrong. That director, Jordan Peele. It's just so weird to see. I still can't get it. Like the fact that he's like stand-up comedian or like a comedy guy into horror,
Turn into horror director, right?
Key Peele,
Yeah.
like, it's just amazing.
I've actually, because I'm a bit of a horror fiend, know that, like the beats and the way you structure a horror and a comedy are actually quite closely related. Like the sort of the pacing that you sort of go for. So yeah, it's not as surprising as you might think. Like, but
and quite often the good horror movies have some element of comedy in it, just to sort of break the tension.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
a bit of release the tension and then build up the tension again, kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And that can be done quite a ham-fisted way, like with the comic relief character, or it can be a bit cleverer, like in Nope, the comic relief in there is very, very clever.
Smile did that. It did very well. There was bits of unexpected humor across the movie.
Yeah, that TMZ reporter on the bike was pretty funny. Was it TMZ? Yeah.
I think that's what they called it. Yeah, that was the only bit that I just found a little bit off about the film.
It just sort of came out of it. It kind of broke the vibe of the thing, but it still made me laugh. Like just
good stunt associated with that.
Yeah.
So that was worth it for the stunt, probably. Yeah.
Sorry, Mole. I just
Mate,
took us off course.
Well, it's all good. I'm yet to see Nope, but it's on my list. I definitely want to watch it. But mate, we got so much Star Wars on the calendar. I mean, Frosty, are you up to date with what's coming up after Andor ends? What you can look forward to in the new year?
I believe that Andor's getting a second season. Is that right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, but it's not going to be released till 2024. Is that right, Turbo?
Oh, fuck. That's a long time.
Yeah,
That's when
I listened to a podcast with Tony Gilroy and Mark Maron. What the fuck podcast? And he said they start filming in November for season 2, so it won't be out until 2024. So, yeah.
So we got 12 episodes of Andor. That's in this year, or the year that you're currently watching in episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's 5 years before Rogue One. And then the second season's going to be, well, every arc is 3 episodes. So every year, so it'll be, let's say 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. So was it 5 BBY, 4 BBY, 3 BBY, 2 BBY, 1? So every 3 episodes will be 1 year of time in the Star Wars world.
Oh,
and it'll
what happened?
It'll finish at the start of Rogue One.
What happened there was, Tony Gilroy was sort of saying they had grand plans for 5 seasons.
Wow.
And he just went, I can't take this much out of my life.
No.
Let's kind of revisit it and do those season 2, do 4 3-episode arcs to bring it up to the events in Rogue One. So they're doing 2
Which
seasons.
you can sort of see the formula in the first 5 episodes we've had of that 3-episode sequence for the arcs. It's sort of like they've 2 episodes build and then 1 episode of execution.
They've roughly got this. I think they have the same director and writer for each of the 3. So episode 1, 2, and 3 is Tony Gilroy and another director and a different writer for
Is Dan Gilroy for 4, 5, 6?
That's right. Yeah, he's writing it. So his brother writes 4, 5, 6, and then a different director for those 3. So they've kind of broken it up already in season 1 into chunks of 3.
Nepotism.
So so like Phroosh, I think if you are going to watch it, you should smash through 3 episodes at a time. So 1, 2, 3, get that out of the way, and then watch 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9.
They sort of hit a bit better.
Yeah. You could think of it as a movie. I would say they kind of the first 3 episodes kind of feel like a movie.
Which we were talking about the past couple of weeks of if those first 3 episodes of Andor weren't released the other week that we had them, man, we would have probably been having much different conversations to how it's tracking. I feel like for sure.
Yep. Yeah, because it's pretty like not a lot happens in the first episode, to be honest, but it's just the overall quality of it, like the quality of the editing and like the dialogue is vastly superior to anything that's been in a Star Wars TV show so far. Like there's a bit part character. He probably, for all I know, he's not in it again, but he's the boss of the guy who's trying to investigate what happened to the 2 murdered security guards.
Yeah.
And he's basically says to the guy why they're not going to investigate it in a brief monologue. And Karina and I just looked at each other and grinned, and it's just like, fuck, that is good. That's great dialogue delivered well by a good actor. Right, and it's funny, but it also tells you a lot about what's going on in the world and what sort of situation they're in. And it's just like, some good writing. This is excellent. So
there's lots more of that to come.
Exactly.
So,
keep going because it's the general populace is that they're loving it because it's very much a fresh breath of fresh air and. You can almost forget you're watching Star Wars because it's so dense and the dialogue is so good. And then, all of a sudden you're at ISB headquarters and you're, that's right, we are watching Star Wars. And it's not, blue milk and lightsabers.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting thing about the Star Wars television is because, and you know, like television's like a big deal at the moment. Like television series are getting a higher class of actor, director, writers than they ever have probably in television history. So when the Star Wars series have been a bit lacking in writing and stuff like that, it really stands out because you can watch, and any number of us are probably watching a handful of different television shows that we all think are pretty good, and it just sort of really suffers in comparison. If it had come out 15 years ago, probably be going, oh, this is fucking awesome. But it sort of suffers in comparison to some really, really good television. So at least on one episode, it does actually seem like Andor's up there with that type of quality of writing and execution. So, yeah, good. Got to be happy about that.
Well, we're in a golden age of television, and I'm sure you're very excited by all the talk of dragons and rings of power.
Sure. What would that be referring to? I'm not.
Well, the House of the Dragon has been quite popular amongst Game of Thrones fans, and then Lord of the Ring fans have been given their own TV series as well. Jeff Bezos tipped in $500 million to make that happen.
So I'm going to take a wild stab and say both of these are prequels.
Yes.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah.
But,
so I thought when they said there's a new Lord of the Rings, it was like just Lord of the Rings, like a television adaptation of it. So it's not.
No. I think originally they tried to do that, and then the Tolkien estate sort of said, no, we don't want you to revisit that. Let's go somewhere else. You know, and that
3,000 years earlier.
Yeah.
Okay,
so second age.
A good thing elves live forever.
Oh, so Hugo Weaving's in it?
I wish he was, because he's probably the only character that I think doesn't work well with a younger, a different actor. But essentially, yeah, it's Galadriel. Kate Blanchett isn't in it, and Hugo Weaving isn't in it, but those two characters are.
Oh, what about Aerosmith's daughter?
It. No, Arwen's not in it. Arwen's not in it. Because that's Elrond's daughter, right? So that's way before that. So it's just Elrond and Galadriel, and then vaguely familiar sort of characters, and it talks a bit about the origin of Sauron and that sort of stuff. So
okay, so no Hugo Weaving, no Kate Blanchett.
No,
hard pass.
Yeah.
No. I don't see why they couldn't have had them. Like, then, you know, they live for thousands of years, so you know they haven't aged that much. Anyway.
Yeah. So, and the other one's Game of Thrones prequel. Yeah.
House of Targaryen dragons.
Yeah, I got nothing on that show. I have no idea.
Yeah, never seen a single episode. So
no.
Yeah.
All good, fellas. Well, my weeks are full, and I'm enjoying it. So fuck you all. Andor, how's Andor for you, mate? Give us a 5-episode analogy.
As Eric Struthers would say, ace job, liking what you like. So, no, so like Andor for me, it's one of the like I haven't really given Mando and Boba Fett and Obi Wan a rewatch, but Andor I have, and for me, it's maybe because of my stupidity, but my first watch of it, I'm really intrigued by the dialogue, but I don't get it, and I miss things.
Yeah, I have a feel. Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'll have to watch it straight away, and I'll turn the subtitles on, and then I go deeper and deeper. So with Andor, I've actually watched 5 episodes 3 times, and that's unheard of for me. Generally, I'll watch it once or twice and move on and forget about it. But for me, I'll just keep revisiting it, and listening to Tony Gilroy talk in that podcast about how he doesn't really give a shit about Star Wars, but he cares about making you care about characters and making you understand the inner workings and the different character interactions. So I think that it just does a great job of that. Whereas, like, I'm comparing it to, say, let's just say, for example, in Solo, you see the character of, is it Val? And they're all talking around the campfire about scheming about what their plan is to do the heist. Well, you can picture that, 10, 15 minutes in that movie, and then that's just 3 whole episodes of Andor talking about, not to spoil it for Phroosh, but talking about how they're going to plan and execute this heist. But the reason why it's so intriguing is you all the different characters, you understand where they're coming from, what their motivations are, and then you get a feel for, like, and then you actually care about the characters, and you care, well, you might not care about it, you might hate the character, or you might like the character, but you have feelings for the character. And I think Andor is the one thing in Star Wars that makes you feel that way. And it makes you think, I hate to think what Filoni would have done with this Andor time period. It would have
Captain Rex again, for sure.
And again, like,
Phroosh is dying.
Filoni has his strong points and he has his weak points, but, like, it's just a different thing, right? Like, it's clunkier dialogue. It's more on the George Lucas style of things. But with Andor, I think it's great that they've got Tony Gilroy sort of running the show and just saying, I don't give a fuck about what Star Wars has come before me. Let's just look at this story and look at the inner workings of the Empire, and I just love it. So I'm in.
And the
9.5 out of 10 for me.
9.5 out of. Dylan, what about you, buddy? You've been quiet. Sorry.
No, I'm fine. I'm happy to listen to you blokes. It's I'll just leave you with this very short comment. As a good friend of mine says, don't yuck my yum. Right? Don't
yuck my yum.
It's great, man. I'm enjoying the show. I don't have much more to say than what Turbo said. I definitely agree with you, Turbo, in the sense of there's a few moments where I sort of have to sit there and really think about what's been said and try to piece together what is actually going on in the greater machinations of the characters and their interrelationships. But it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's refreshing, as Matt, you said. It's not much more to say than that.
Phroosh,
really.
I'm going to take you back to 1983 when we met the glorious Mon Mothma. And I'm sure as a 6-year-old boy, you were like, I can't wait to find out Mon Mothma's marriage origin story.
She's married, is she?
Spoilers.
And also has a kid.
Oh, my. She has a kid. Oh, wait till Filoni gets his hands on her. Or him. Yeah.
Well.
We'll see. No, she's not dead. No.
Okay.
You'll just have to see. You get to see the relationship. Her husband's a bit of a douche. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. That's probably enough spoilers, is it, Turbo?
Yeah. No, like I don't, like I said before I chat, I don't think you can really spoil Andor too much. Like, the fact that we've told Matt that she has a husband doesn't really spoil anything, because it's more about the dialogue and the interaction that matters, right? So yeah, I don't think you can spoil Andor at all.
There is also the very, very important point that if you agree to come on a Star Wars podcast and you're not up to date with what Star Wars is out there, that's on me. So, if you guys want to go in there any plot points, like, it's like that's on me. Like, it's not. I'm not the most bothered by that, to be honest. Like, I am really digging the show, though. I'm looking forward to catching up for sure.
I got a spoiler for you then, Frosty. Andor dies. Yep, there you go.
Maybe
they all die at the end. So I'm a bit worried about his cute little robot I saw at the very start. I'm like, oh, things aren't looking good for you, buddy.
Do you know that droid's name is?
Yeah, because like what Turbo was saying before about rewatching episodes is we sort of mitigate that a lot because we watch everything with subtitles because Karina's grew up watching everything with subtitles. So, so I know he's called BT2 Emo or something.
B2 Emo.
Yeah, which I'm sure I've said to somebody before. Like,
You're being too
emo, bro. I'm just here to be too emo.
Catherine Neen has a theory that B2 Emo dies or something, and then he takes the brain and puts him into K2SO.
Look, I would say that would be 100% what would happen if Filoni was running the show.
Wow.
I hope Catherine's enjoying the show because she's really keen for this. So I hope it's everything.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah. She's been on about 9 podcasts in the last 7 days. She's been touring the world, and she's loving life. And she's tweeting. I even saw a tweet to Steele today where she goes, "Hey Steele, how's Andor?" And then goes on and says, "Oh, isn't it awesome and amazing?" And he replies, "You didn't even let me answer." So yeah, she's loving it and gushing over it.
Is it amazing and or wonderful?
It's definitely not the and or be all, but you know, I've been holding on to that one. I've told Matt about that joke for fucking weeks.
You tried to bring that up 2 weeks ago, and we gave you the tumbleweed gif, and then you bring it back 2 weeks later in this.
Yes, and it fit. Yeah, and I got a couple laughs. That's fine. I'm happy with that.
It's a decent gag, man. Don't let him fucking bring you down.
Yeah, don't yuck my yum. You know.
Oh God. We're in trouble. Well, Turbo, you've seen the Rings of Power. Give us. I believe you spent the last 9 days watching Lord of the Rings nonstop with your kids. Because
I did because the whole of the east coast of New South Wales is underwater.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down the south coast, and it was supposed to be a beach holiday, but that sort of didn't happen.
I hate that.
Went to the beach once, no, maybe twice. And but luckily, I brought down all the Blu-rays of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So,
extended cuts.
Well, here's the thing: Lord of the Ring extended, Hobbit standard, because Hobbit you don't want that going on too long. Even though I quite enjoy it, you just want the standard editions. But yeah, I went through all those. We just finished Return of the King this morning. Matt's just like, what the fuck?
So I just took a snapshot, and Phroosh is like wondering what the fuck just happened. Look at it.
It's like lightning.
I saw
This
a
is
bright
why
light. I thought I was on.
sneaking photos with my phone because anyway.
I thought it was the app, but yeah, no. I went through Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Also went through the making of. So watching Peter Jackson talk about it for about 9 hours as well. On top of that.
I'm sorry, I'm so off track.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, we enjoyed it. My oldest son is 15, and he's kind of that time where he's really enjoying it. My 10-year-old couldn't give a shit, so he just did his own thing. But yeah, Rings of Power. Again, it's one of those ones where I didn't know where it was going at first, and it was kind of a bit of a slow build up. I think you guys talked about it before. It's like, where is this going? The first 2 or 3 episodes was a bit slow pace, but still enough to sort of keep you intrigued. But I think the last couple of episodes, especially this one, and it kind of aligns in with what the whole Mount Doom thing, and I'm really enjoying it. And again, it's 7th episode, and there's only 1 episode to go, so I don't know where it's going from here. Is it going to be a cliffhanger, or I don't really know.
Yeah, well, it's already being filmed as well, so we'll get that pretty soon, I reckon.
I don't think it's been filmed, has it?
Yeah, they've already started. Oh, they'll be starting in November. Oh no! I saw something. It's big. Season 2 has already begun, and it's being filmed in England as well, not New Zealand.
Yeah, they moved from New Zealand apparently, so not sure why.
Save money.
Yeah,
not sure, but it's for some of us, there's a lot of yum out there. I mean, Frosty. I mean, I'll just give you your next 6 to 9 months to look forward to. I mean, Bad Batch comes out January 4, 16 episodes.
16. Yeah. Haven't made it through one of them yet, so yeah.
That's right. We had you on, and the Bad Batch was in its first season, and you were yet to crack it open yet. But
I did try and watch one, just not for me.
You yucked my yum.
There is. Don't worry. March 16 or so, Mandalorian season 3.
Oh, there we go.
Ahsoka has been confirmed to be in that season 3 as well.
Of course she fucking has.
The Filoni-verse.
The Filoni-verse continues. And then after that, the Ahsoka show.
Oh, whole show. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Is that a cartoon or live action?
No, that's live action. Rosario Dawson, her own show. It's the Rebels sequel. So live action.
Not a cartoon.
Live action Hera, live action maybe Jason Syndulla. Sabine has been cast, an Australian girl. Natasha Liu Boadizzo.
So I have a Sabine. So we have quite a bit of Sabine merchandise. So yeah. I don't mean I have a Sabine action figure. I actually have a daughter called Sabine.
Daughter, yes.
Yeah. So, but we do have a Sabine action figure.
I was going to say, like, with the reaction to Andor and all these things in the pipeline, what do you think's going to win? Not necessarily win going forward, but do you think there'll be more Andor-style TV shows or more Filoni-verse shows coming forward? Because I'm hoping more of the Andor at the moment.
Why can't
and then
the
there can
Andor
always be 50
influence the Filoni shows and go, hey, let's just change it up a bit?
Yeah, try and be a bit better.
Yeah.
just don't be shit.
You know what? We'll put Cad Bane in it, but just wait 10 episodes.
Just be less shit.
That's a good way of
Talk
putting it.
about
Yeah.
Cad Bane for 10 episodes.
About if we bring Axl Rose and a dinosaur.
Yeah. Because the reason I ask is it sounds like Tony Gilroy is sort of happy to sort of finish this and then move on to something else. Like he doesn't seem the type of guy that wants to continue in this universe. He just wants to.
Well, you said it yourself, right? It sounds like he doesn't care.
Yeah, no, he cares. I think he cares enough to make it good, but I don't think he cares about being working on Star Wars for the next 20 years.
Yeah,
right? So, I'm just curious as to where this will go after the Mando season 3 and the Ahsokas of what's next. After Andor season 2, maybe I'm looking too far ahead, but I'm just hoping.
What about Star Truce?
No.
Star Truce? No?
Star Truce.
It's not going to buy?
What about, have you heard about Skeleton Crew, Frosty?
Oh, no. I assume you don't mean the collection of Stephen King short stories.
No, unfortunately not. There's, are you a Stranger Things fan?
I thought the first season was excellent, but I just couldn't see why you'd have any more, so I didn't watch it past that.
Oh, come on, man.
So
they're actually right.
There's a show called Skeleton Crew, which has been given like $150 million budget, and Jude Law is our show frontrunner, and it's sort of these kids trying to get home or in the Star Wars universe. So that's going to be released next year.
It's kind of, I guess they're kind of aiming for like a Stranger Things / Goonies / Stranger Things kind of Amblin style thing, yeah.
No, I reckon that sounds good. From what you've told me, anyway.
All we have is a photo of Jude Law
in a jumper
and a poster. Did we get a poster? No, we got a logo. That's what we got. Logo, photo of Jude Law. That's it.
Going back to what you said about and this is to do with Skeleton Crew. It's a really good question when you say is Andor going to influence what's come up going forward, or is it going to be more Favloni sort of based shit? I think that's really interesting that everyone said when Star Wars came back that, oh, this is going to be amazing because fans of Star Wars are going to make like Star Wars now. And I never really understood why that's necessarily a good idea, because like the people that were involved in the original Star Wars and stuff weren't fans of Star Wars. Like, what's his name? Alec Guinness didn't even like the damn thing. And he's the best thing about the first movie. Like, getting somebody in like Tony Gilroy and not having like rabid fanboys like Favreau and Filoni just dictating every part of all the television shows is a great idea, because it just brings a more of a critical outsider's view and stretches things in different directions. And if they've done the same thing with this Skeleton Crew, which is, you know, because making something family friendly or kid doesn't mean it has to be shit or dumbed down or anything like that. Stuff can still be very good. Like Stranger Things is a good example. Like, I think it's great. The more people they get in now who are just good at their job, instead of having some sort of well-established fan cred of liking the damn thing, like, the better. Like, it's just going to lead to overall better content.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think what we're getting from Favreau and Filoni, at least maybe the Favreau side of things, is, and maybe even like Robert Rodriguez as well, is quite open with the fact that he's recreating some of his like Kenner action figure scenarios in his backyard kind of thing. Like his imagination of that is like based on, he's just playing with action figures, right? But that's not always a good thing. Like it may be good for a season or two, but it's not going to sustain an interesting kind of universe.
It's good for a sugary blast. That's about all that it's really good for. Like
cereal.
Because there's no, like you're saying, there's no substance to it. It's almost just like that shock factor of, here's your quick hit. Oh, now get used to this, get hooked on it, and expect that too much, and you're going to get let down.
The fact that we couldn't really even remember what happened in Boba Fett, and that we just actually pieced it together by laughing about it, like, actually says a lot.
A train heist and some Tusken Raiders. That came back to me too.
Oh, that bit was good.
Yeah, that was
the best episode.
Yeah. That was really. I actually quite liked all that Tusken stuff. That was good.
The Goro sand monster was pretty cool.
Well, that was the low point. That was the sand kraken.
That was like Jason and the Argonauts kind of thing.
Tatooine's newest animal.
I just don't think it needs to. It's so self-referential these days. It just needs to stop. Like, I think
And look, I know everyone like points at the MCU or whatever as like, that's they've got to make it all connect and stuff like that. You actually don't, and you shouldn't be looking to replicate it. That's almost an unreplicatable thing. Like they struck gold with that, and I'd say that I'd be very surprised if they can sustain that sort of success.
They haven't since
their shows have been
Endgame. The MCU has stalled dramatically. Like the TV's barely watchable.
Yeah, it really has.
The movies have been okay, but they haven't come close to
Infinity War
hitting the peaks
Endgame level. No way.
Yeah, they should be. You shouldn't be looking at that for a template. You should come up with your own plan and your own thing, what thinks serves your own IP. And I don't think they've really done that thus far. But
what we need? We need some Star Wars horror.
Oh, shit, yeah.
It is such a good fucking universe to make something just absolutely terrifying, for whether it was a movie, TV series, an episode,
There is... We didn't really talk about it, but there's the Acolyte. I'm not sure if it's quite horror, but it's a bit darker.
It's going to be darker, but I don't think it'll be, I don't think that they've got a brand where they'll be able to do something horror.
It'd be horror adjacent.
Future.
It'd be, it'd be, Stranger Things type horror, I'd say. Horror light. Yeah. But they've tried before in comics and books and stuff like that. They've definitely gone down that road before, which is, it was okay. It was pretty good. But yeah, a found footage Ewok horror movie is just
we have spoken about this way back.
Yeah. it writes itself. It's
Mate, I think I might have said this to you at that point, but the latest Star Wars Battlefront they came out with, where it's basically your 3 or 4 stormtroopers in the forest of Endor at night. All you can see is a flashlight, and there's Ewoks running around the forest just screaming, chanting, and they're hunting you as the stormtrooper. It's fucking terrifying. That is freaky, man. It's horrible.
Bears.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's drop bears to the extent, you know.
There was an old there was a comic. I can't remember what they were called. But they were like, it might have been like something like Tales of the Jedi or something like that.
There was
like
a Tales of the Jedi comic.
Yeah, but this was, whatever it was an anthology. So you'd get all different stories from all different artists in all different sort of styles. They weren't supposed to be canon or taken as that. They were, so it was right up my alley. It was like, you know, sort of fairly free form, you know, do anything you want. And yeah, there was a story in there that, and I think me and Luke Cruiser, I think we adapted it as a radio drama once way back then. I've done some goofy shit with Luke over the years.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, same thing. Like it was about what happened when they first got to Endor and just being murdered by Ewoks. So be fucking great.
If you like those anthology things, you need to look into Love, Death and Robots.
Love, Death
Frosty.
and Robots. I think I'm
it's on
unlikely to
Netflix.
forget that title. It's pretty...
Well, like you said, it's just they're either very short 5-10 minute episodes, or they might be a 20-minute of just completely different stories, art styles, and you know, yeah, like you said, all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah. I do love anthology stuff. Like I've been reading a Tales from the Crypt comic today, so it's I love all that old stuff.
Before we wrap things up, Frosty, were you a fan of Willow back in the day?
Pretty sure I never saw it. I remember the ad, but not having a VHS player or a cinema made it sort of a bit tough, and I reckon that one went past.
Slipped to the keeper.
Yeah. Same with Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal and stuff. Didn't see any of that stuff, but yeah, because Willow's a Lucasfilm stuff, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. So we're getting
Ron Howard directed it. Yep.
Ah, Ronnie boy. And Warwick Davis is in it, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer's in it. Shit.
Val Kilmer's in it. He's terrible. I watched it the other day because I got through about 3/4 and I was going to finish it, but Willow's getting a TV sequel.
Okay, so what? Like, having played in a band with a guy named Willow, like, is Willow a character or is it a place or is it a?
Willow is Warwick Davis.
Okay, I wonder if that's what he named himself after. Don't know, but yeah.
But we've got an absolute smorgasbord. We'll have to get you back, Phroosh, when we finished Andor and we've decomposed, digested everything, all the dense goodness. Whereas my other fellow friends, we seem to gobble it up every Wednesday at 6:30, 7 p.m. and regurgitate it as soon as we possibly can. But it's been great to see you, buddy. We have been blessed with lots of content, and I'm sure you're super pumped for everything that's soon to come as well.
I'll make an effort to be a little bit more interested in it. But yeah, thanks a lot for having me on though. I always have a great time when you guys have me on. So yeah.
Thank you for coming. Turbo, it's good to have you, mate. Feels like times of old.
Yeah, I finally made it. I've been saying no to you quite often.
Oh, mate, I'm getting rejected. And then you go on another podcast and you invite yourself on. I felt fucking...
But no, I've just been busy. But I think, back to work tomorrow and back into a routine, I think. So no more finals to go to. And
so what you're saying is where your backups, eh?
Sunday nights are not ideal. I don't know.
I agree with you, mate, but you know what? These guys are dads.
What are you talking about? I'd love to do it during the week. But I go to the gym during the week, so I can't record.
I've never been to a gym in like 20 years, so it's not me.
No, not you. It's Dylan. Dylan's the one who doesn't want to record during the week. So anyway, fellas.
But thank you for having me on.
It's been great.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming, Turbo, and thank you, Dylan, as well, for showing up for work as usual. But fellas, it's been great.
Problem, mate.
I look forward to catching up again soon. May the Force be with you and all that.
May the Force be with all of us. What are you going to say, Turbo, this time? Don't yuck my yum. All right, end it.
Don't yuck. Ace job, but liking what you like.
That's it.
Fuck
And
you,
Frosty, what do
Filoni.
you...